Yep, they're saying audio isn't working. Oh, I just heard my voice.
Hey,
Okay. Thank God nobody heard me say the N word. Thank God. Okay. Now. Okay, I have it muted now, and I'm somehow hearing it. Okay, it's gone now. Okay. There we go. There we go. Okay. We're gonna do this again from the top. Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to SnarkCast. I'm Muggany here with Empty Plot Filler. And ladies and gentlemen, we have on Present Perfect. You,
hello. It's good to be
yeah,
here.
yeah. We just had a fun time with the audio there. Um, okay, before we get into the swing of things, I just want to take a moment to talk about this. I really kind of want to do this every time a celebrity or somebody I highly respect passes away. I'm gonna keep this short, it's just so we can get into the interview. But recently, David Lynch passed away. When I got the news, I was well, I won't lie, I was high. I was getting over a high, and a friend of mine just texted me and just said David Lynch died. And you know, news is shocking when you actually sit up in bed and yell out, "What the fuck?" That was my initial reaction. David Lynch was known for Eraserhead. He was known for Blue Velvet. He was known for Twin Peaks. Give all those things a watch. They are amazing. He made a video called "How to Make Quinoa." I revisit that every once in a while. Definitely give it a watch. It is one of the best instructional videos I have ever seen. If you can even call it that. After the stream today, if we have time, I'll be doing a showing of Twin Peaks in the podcast group. So feel free to join that if you're still around after. And with that, yeah, let's just get in with the interview. It's a present perfect. Why don't you like fan fiction? Are you just some kind of fan fiction hater? Well, why do you keep reading fan fiction if you don't like fan fiction?
I absolutely hate fan fiction. It's terrible.
Why? Why can't you just do something with your life, man? Like, why not? You know, why not just like write a bunch of IMDb reviews?
The horses are marshmallowy. Also, I hate myself.
That is a fair point, and that actually kind of does read the questions. You know, like I've been kind of getting like I've talked about this on the podcast before. I've been kind of outside of fan fiction recently, just because so much of what is written in the fan fiction community is it doesn't appeal to my specific taste. And very recently, I've been actually getting back into. I've been learning to just kind of accept that like not everything is going to appeal to my taste, and it might be worth it just to find like just the occasional gold bar in the haystack. So I'm kind of curious, you know, when you write all these reviews, you do kind of consistently. Um, how many stories out of like how do I word this? How many bad stories do you usually have to get through before you find that gold bar?
Depends on how I'm getting to the stories. If I'm listening to audiobooks, which is how I do most of my reviews these days,
Hmm.
um, most audiobook readers go for like low-hanging fruit to put it in a way. So it'll take like, I don't know, 10 or 12 before there's something that's, above decent. Um, but I've also I've been recently reading through a list of stories that I had saved for myself because I thought they sounded good, and lo and behold, most of them were extremely good. So
Hmm.
if you want to
Okay.
find good fan fiction, you kind of just need to trust your instincts.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, I think that's very good advice, especially for me because like I'm somebody my like my perception of what makes writing good has been very altered over the course of the years because like, it's like no, I got into writing when I was like 15 years old, and like I started to build sorry, I'm just reading the chat. Shut the fuck up, Reggie. um, no, but I started to build like a very specific mindset of like what makes good writing, and I kind of like that logic of just learning to trust your instinct and just trying to absorb it as an experience. But there's one particular fic I want to talk to you about, and no spoilers past a certain chapter. I have to bring it up. Based on just yeah, I had to pull it up. But it's a long story. I want to ask you about it because I had a journey reading all of your comments on every chapter, but Project Horizons.
Ah, I knew it was gonna be
Yeah,
Fallout Equestria.
yeah. You seem to really enjoy it for the most part, based on how much I read. I do understand that some people will have like there's some there's some debate around the ending without spoiling it. How do you feel?
Yeah, no, that's pretty reasonable. As I remember it, the first, like, because it's divided into 5 books, as I recall, the first 3 books are really good, and then the 4th one, like, kinda drops off, and then the 5th one has a lot of really questionable decisions in it.
Mm, here. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out where I left off so we know like where exactly. I know I read the scene where she had sex with the bat pony. Was that no? I was at Hightower. I was at Hightower. That's right. Is that still like the kind of the point in the story where is still pretty good for you?
I think so, yeah, I think that's fairly early on.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, 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 I'm very much enjoying that story right now. And reading all your comments have been like a fucking journey. I think when I got to the chapter when Blackjack meets Little Pip, like I actually enjoyed that chapter very much because it was like this like the chapter previous from it was like this very dramatizing chapter. It was like the darkest the story ever got and will probably ever get from what I've seen so far. And then there's like this stupid lighthearted chapter inserted right after, which is kind of the levity the story needed. And then I go down to the comments and I just burst out laughing because holy shit, you hated it.
Did I?
You did you fucking chewed up somber. I don't remember what chapter it was specifically. I'm trying to find it.
I'm going off to try and find my comments. No, there's over 5 almost 5,000 comments on that story, I'm not finding it
You can find it. We can go through it one. Let's read every comment on this story until we find it
in real time.
in real time. Yeah. No. No. I enjoy Project Horizons very much. Like in a lot of ways, I think it's better than the original. So like, I love talking about it. I haven't gotten to the
Absolutely.
part. Yeah, I haven't gotten to the part everyone says it's bad. But like, even if it does get bad, I think it's one of those stories. Fucking, it is the most ever hated story on film fiction. I don't even think it's that bad that people need to actually get their groins in a twist over it. Like, holy shit. Yeah. Speaking of which, I remember meeting you at BronyCon 2019. Y
2019, wow.
yes,
Forever ago.
it was, like, before, I get into the story of meeting you, like, what do you remember about BronyCon 19? What are some of your memories there?
Wait, not very much. I remember, I met a guy named Fraggles there. He's a cool guy. He's from Australia, if I'm not mistaken, and,
Yes.
got started reading his fanfics afterwards. I do remember that there was who was it? Somebody from fiction works for NPR and
NPR.
interviewed me. Yeah, it never got on radio though. I don't recall who
Hmm.
that was.
It's because you
But
don't
yeah,
like
that was
fan
fun.
fiction. Hmm.
And other than that, I'm not sure. It kind of it blends in with the other two BronyCons that I went to, not because they were similar, but just because my mind is a weird soup.
Were you at the Barcast flash interviews?
Barcast, I don't know. I do
Oh, they
remember
did.
hanging out in the writers' room. I hung out in the writers'
Uh,
room, and Apple Tank, I think, gave me freeze-dried durian, which was an experience.
oh yeah. Yeah, I remember Pringles brought the Dark fruits, and I know I haven't had it myself, but I know the smell is so pungent that if you try to eat it, like there's a chance you'll vomit. And there's like this there's actually this really funny video on the Barcast channel of priest standing next to Fraggles, and he says, "I'm gonna try the durian fruits." He takes a bite of it, he immediately goes to the trash can to vomit, and while he's vomiting in the trash can, you just see Fraggles in the background just casually chewing on durian fruit. Yeah. Here, let me see if you had a flash interview. Barcast. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
I recall the dried version smelled more like gasoline, which I actually like. But it doesn't taste anything like it smells, and it tastes like 5 or 6 different things in a row.
There's this fruit here, like it wasn't available in my hometown, but I've been seeing it around the city a few times in the supermarket. I've been wanting to try it. It's called jackfruit. Uh,
Jackfruit is a favorite of mine.
yeah. Apparently, it's just like a fruit that's like really high in calories. That's all I know about it. No, I haven't had it yet, but you know, what, I should go get it. I should get it. I want to try it.
If it's ripe, it is extremely good.
Mm. No, definitely have to try. What does it taste like?
It tastes like, I've always compared the flavor to fruit leather, if you've ever had that, where they take and, like, dry out fruit and press it into, like, a strip. It just sort of has a very general fruity flavor, but it's nice and sweet,
Hmm.
and, I I have seen, like, entire ones at the store before, and they're just huge. They're, like, the size of your torso.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, that does sound yummy. Oh, what else do you remember about BronyCon, by the way?
I still remember about BronyCon. Well, that was the year that they had the bookstore, wasn't it?
Yeah, did you buy anything cool there?
No, I think I was broke at the time and basically, used all of my excess funds just to get there. But that was a really cool thing. I remember like
It
Aquaman
was.
was running that. I can't remember who
Um,
actually organized it. I think he was part of it though.
I I just randomly ran into a Fiora the Tank Girl while I was there,
Oh,
and
really?
yeah, I had a very nice interaction with her. She was very nice. Like I hadn't really read Dead Tree, but you know, her book was there, and I think I bought it because it was actually pretty cheap. It was like $10, $20. I don't remember, but
Hmm.
yeah, like when I bought it, she was just like, "Hey, you want me to sign it?" I was like, "Yeah, sure," and she just signed it for me right there. She was very cool, and
Oh, cool.
yeah, yeah, and we're talking about Fallout Cluster. That this is why the Project Horizons discussion reminded me of BronyCon. I bought like I bought like a gold leaf hardback of the original Fallout Equestria. It was very nice
Ooh.
book. Yeah, and there's this really funny thing about it. The only story that KCAT considers canon that wasn't written by her is an erotica that's meant to take place between a specific set of chapters.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and it was included in that book, but the way they included it was they didn't warn you that it wasn't part of the original source material. They just
Oops.
inserted it between chapters so I was reading, and I was suddenly like, why is Little Pip slapping on a dildo? And
Yeah.
I just pictured people who've never read Fall Equestria before seeing that at the BronyCon and thinking to themselves, hey, you know what? This is a little pricey, but it'd make a very cool souvenir, and it would give me a reason to finally read Fall Equestria. And I just pictured them stumbling across that chapter and wondering what the fuck is
Yeah.
going on.
Given the number of people who have either discovered the MLP fandom through Fallout Equestria or just know about Fallout Equestria by itself from outside the fandom, that's a little terrifying.
It is a little terrifying. Yeah, I hope, somebody out there, at least got a kick out of it. Maybe they think of Fall Equestria in the wrong way now, but like they're a fan at
Mhm.
least. So something good came out of it at least.
Hopefully
Perhaps
they,
a few
they
fetishes.
figure out what was going on later on.
Hopefully they figured out themselves while they're reading it.
Mhm.
Yeah. Mm, no, but the story of the meeting you is really not that interesting because it was brief. It was twice. Both times were brief. Um, no, I went to I had lost my glasses during the convention. I don't know how it happened, but like I was hanging out with Jack of a Few Trades, Lucky Seven, and Missy the Angel, and my glasses at the time, like, I didn't take good care of them, so they're all dinged up. So I would only wear them when I really needed to. So like I moved them to like my shirt pocket. I remember there's like a point where I was running. I guess while I was running, they fell out, and I couldn't find them anywhere after that. So I went to Lost and Found. They weren't. You were kind of standing next to the Lost and Found with Freckles, and then that's where I met
Oh,
you.
yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, and yeah, I wasn't there, but I ended up meeting you a second time. You were sitting next to Freckles again, and this is like when the con was kind of closing out. This is kind of before the closing ceremony where like M.A. Larson got on stage and kind of started announcing their plans for Generation 5. um, I met you again there. I don't remember the conversation we had, but I remember posting on your profile. It was very nice meeting you, and like, and you remembered, oh, I'm the guy that lost my glasses. And you said, hey, did you find your glasses? And I said, no, and I just I just appreciate you remembered that.
Oh,
Yeah.
I actually do. You mentioned that you had lost your glasses. I do remember that someone had lost their glasses at BronyCon. I remember that was a thing. And yes, I spent a lot of time hanging out with Freckles.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I rode with the Freckles to BronyCon. Is like I was meant to go with like a bunch of friends, and something got lost in translation, and they thought I wasn't going to be able to make it. So when they found out that I actually was going to be able to make it, it was kind of too late. Like the seat was filled. Luckily, like Jack of a Few Trades, he pulled some strings and convinced Fergus to take me along. I got a ride with him. That was fun. I didn't
Cool.
try the durian fruit, unfortunately. Oh, I rode with him, and our driver was this neckbeard who would role play while driving. So like he'd be driving, but he would also be writing out his role play while driving, which was a little nerve wracking. Yeah,
How
it
unique.
was fun. Yeah, yeah, it was fun. I had a fun time at the con. Those are fun memories, and I hope to make it to BabsCon. Do you have any plans to make it there?
Oh no, I don't do conventions anymore
You
for
don't do
several
convention
reasons.
for several reasons. Like, don't you want like the experience of going to a convention?
No, I mean I've been to I went to every TrotCon from the very first one up until 2019, I'm pretty sure. So I've been to a lot of conventions over the course of my life, but between just like finances, the ability to get places, and yeah, I'm still not over the whole like global pandemic and people are not willing to cover their faces for the sake of other people's
So
health thing.
you're kind of like a hypochondriac is what you are.
I sort of have had some hypochondria induced, like it's either that or agoraphobia. But yeah,
Yeah.
I always wear a mask when I'm out.
No, I feel I totally understand. I'm kind of a hypochondriac in some ways. Like I was taking a shower at the gym a couple weeks ago, and I felt like a bump on my armpit when I was watching there. I was like, "This wasn't here yesterday," and I thought, "Oh my god, do I have cancer? This like a cancerous
Uh-oh.
tumor?" It was just an abscess. That's all it was. But for a
Oh
moment
my
there, like I
goodness.
had like for a moment there, I just had like a little freak out. um, no, I would like to go to more conventions. I just don't. It's probably just because I don't travel a lot. Like I never like growing up, I didn't really have the experience of actually going on vacation a lot.
Mhm.
So I would like to travel more. I guess that's like a if I had a New Year's resolution, that would be it. So I think that's why I want to go to Babscon so bad. But there's this there is this Comic Con convention that happens yearly in the city I live in called Yellow City Comic Con. And while I was there, do you know Flash Gordon?
I'm aware of it, yeah.
So the actor who played Flash Gordon from the '70s movie, he was there,
Wow.
and yeah, there was a booth just dedicated to Flash Gordon in the vendors hall. And I saw like this old man and like this old Chinese guy standing next to him, and I was very curious. I went over there. I said, "Wow, you must really like Flash Gordon." And the old guy said, "Yeah, you can say you changed my mind." And I had never met a celebrity before, so the first things out of my mouth were, Your life changed when you saw Flash Gordon in theaters." He's like, "No, no, I played Flash Gordon, dumbass." And I was still confused. And no, the Chinese guy that's standing next to him. What was the villain's name? Commander Zod. Well, that's the guy he played, and he was just casually staying there. And I went. I think so, but I went to a he had a panel there, and I went to his panel, and he was a very nice conversationalist. Like somebody would ask him a question, and he would talk for like 10-20 minutes. He really knew how to keep a conversation going. And like a dickhead, like after like after he finished with the panel, like he was trying to leave, and like I was in my very early 20s, didn't know better. I just walked up to him and started talking when he was probably busy. Yeah. Yes, that's my experience with conventions. Do you have any fun convention stories?
I once fist bumped the guy who voices Bender on Futurama at a very stupid convention.
What is the convention?
Oh God, what was it called? I think it was Canterlot Gardens. It was held in Ohio for 1 year.
Oh, there's the first
Um,
problem.
yeah, it was. It took place at a Holiday Inn. They had booked like one room for a dealer's room, one room for a gaming room, and the ballroom. They had like no rooms for anybody. We showed up, and I remember one of my friends actually had to leave. He couldn't do the con because he didn't have. Or no, it wasn't because he didn't have a room. It's because he didn't have a badge. There was no way to get a badge the day of. They were out. So I spent most of that convention that weekend in the dealer's room with Alex Straza, who I don't know anyone would remember these days. He hasn't been around in
I do.
years.
Old
Um,
moderator, right?
yeah, yeah. And I helped him sell Pony mouse pads, which actually I realize I still have. I am using currently is a
Is
mouse pad that
it
I got from that convention.
is it the
That's why it's
ones with
falling apart.
the inflatable breast?
No.
Oh,
Um,
unfortunately.
but they did have a fun, like the one fun thing that I went to was a reading of, I think it was various scenes throughout the show up to that point with a bunch of voice actors from other media. They had the guy who did Bender. They had the lady who did the main character of Mass Effect, I think. They had a
Hmm.
couple others. They might have had Billy West. I'm not sure, but they had them all doing characters from My Little Pony as their voices, and it was a hysterical time. And
Oh,
afterwards, I saw the guys he was leaving, thanked him, got a fist bump. So yeah, that was neat.
it sounded like it was fun despite the terrible venue because first of all you said it's in Ohio, second you said it's in a Holiday Inn. Terrible place to have a convention.
It really was. And I
Yeah.
think the person who ran it like absconded with all of the money afterwards, and that's why there was never another one.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah. So
uh,
it was a real like, I mean, it wasn't DashCon levels of failure,
I,
but it was
I
it was
I
up
was about
there.
to I was about to ask, have you ever been to DashCon?
No, I did not go to DashCon.
Oh, yeah, but yeah, I would love to go to another convention. I kind of just wanted to go to a furry convention. It's like I've said in the past, like I kind of am afraid. I really just admire artwork. I want to dress up in a fursuit, but I would definitely just go to a furry convention just out of morbid curiosity. What's the controversial one? Was it Rainfest?
Rainforest?
Yeah, Rainforest. I think that's the controversial one where like hotels or like yeah hotels will refuse to book anybody going to the convention just because they'll do things like leave diapers all over the parking lots, and full
Oh
diapers
God,
all over
was
the
that
parking lot.
from there?
Oh
Well, yeah.
god. Oh god. Oh my god. I should be glad I haven't gone all out. Oh my god.
Furry
Reggie,
cons
I
are
know
a
you.
time though.
Yeah, Reggie, I know you're watching this. Be glad I haven't extended to this level of degeneracy yet. Oh
Ooh,
my
I
god.
think I remember hearing that story.
It's no wonder you have, it's no wonder you have PTSD. It wasn't the war, it was the furry convention. Oh. Um okay, going to like kind of your reviews, but like before like I get into like the questions of like how did you decide to structure your reviews and all that. I just want to point out I actually the egotistical side of me will actually check in with you every time you update just to see if you reviewed one of my stories. You haven't done it, but you did review one. This is kind of way back during the podcast April and Horror contest. The only story of mine you reviewed, just the one story I didn't want you reviewed, and that was Primal Instinct, and you shat all over it.
Yeah, you know, I went and looked up actually to see if I had reviewed any of your stories, and I was sad to see that it was just one I didn't enjoy. That being said, you've written a number of stories that sound really neat, so in the future, that will happen.
Yeah. Well, first of all, like I'm not gonna try to convince you to like read any of them because I know no, like I'm not gonna try to convince you like put any of them in my head. Like And like I do encourage you to take your time with getting to them if any of them are on your radar. Because I have gone through your profile. And I do know like you do take your time with how you read stories because I
No,
found
I do.
the yeah you do yeah you have that little excerpt that says present perfect, why haven't you read my story yet, and you just gave the list of reasons, so I get it. Like, take your time. Like, I'm not really offended. I'm just egotistical about it. So that's it.
Well, I
That's
understand
literally
that.
it. Oh yeah, I think every fan fiction writer is a little egotistical, honestly. Yeah, very few of us aren't. Okay, getting into that actually, what's like the story? You know, if anybody could read one of your stories, what's the one you're most egotistic about? The one where like you want to show people with I'm an awesome writer. Which one is that?
And that's a good question. I mean, I have written so many. And it's
It's
like,
okay.
on the one hand, you've got stories like, probably like, oh shoot, what's it called? Persephone,
What's the
which
Persephone?
is my, just a slice of life shipping, Miss Harshwini with Prim Hemline. Like, that was me, writing just a serious story, short story based on something I like. But then I also write so many comedies and like something like The Beards of Harmony, which, good lord, I need to finish one of these days. Uh, that's also the kind of thing that I'm like,
Hmm.
I would love more people to read that because I think it's hilarious.
What's that one you wrote about Fluttershy picking her nose?
Did I write one about that?
Oh, I found it. A nugget of wisdom.
Nugget of wisdom, yes.
Yes, I did not read that one just because I don't handle gross up well. But fuck you for writing that. What else? Oh, this Tempest Poppins. That actually kind of looks fun.
Tempest Poppins is great.
Okay, yeah, you should know. You wrote it.
That's a stupid story, but I'm very proud of it.
Ooh, I like the cover art for Cayman Rider Taco. It's a stupid title with a cool cover art. I didn't have to read
What I use
later.
for the cover art for that? Oh, that's the one with like the, yeah, 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 yeah. That was cool. I think somebody else did that for me.
You think some? Oh, you mean the cover? I thought you meant the story.
No, not the story, gosh.
Oh, let's see what she wrote here. I found one with a dead bird, dead nuthatch.
Dead
And
Nuthatch is
this
a
time,
serious story.
oh, I thought it was gonna be funny.
Nope. That one's about Fluttershy seeing a bird dead outside. I read about Fluttershy a lot.
Okay, and immediately following that, it is Trixie events yoga pants with a very provocative picture of a sweaty Trixie in yoga pants.
Yep.
Okay, so you definitely appreciate stories for the plot. Uh, Auto Scratch down best for romance. Yes. Uh, for some reason, it's titled. For some reason, it's categorized as sad, even though it looks like an absolute shit post.
I think I successfully wrote a sad trollfic.
I
That's one I
respect that.
wouldn't suggest reading because it was not written to be read.
Oh, and it had an audio reading by fan of most everything who we have on the podcast. Ooh.
Yeah.
Flurry Heart goes to Magic Kiragarden. Okay, okay. Now this is up my alley because I've hosted not one but two contests about Flurry Heart having terrible parents. And I'm going to be hosting a third soon about how Flurry Heart is a terrible daughter. I'd love for you to enter that.
Oh, that's excellent. The Shining Armor is a Terrible Dad contest. I've been continuously running across entries from that, and they just all sound hilarious.
Yeah, I was surprised like when I started the contest because like the idea, like when I started the Cadence is a Terrible Mom contest, the idea was like still very shitposty. I did not expect it to get popular to that degree, let alone the sequel to the contest, which was done like 3 years later. And because like I wasn't sure about the idea of doing a follow up contest. The follow up contest got twice as many entries. So yeah, that was
Oh,
crazy. I think we got over 40. So I'm thinking for the final contest, we gotta do it big. We gotta give people like a 2 month opening, and gotta make the grand prize a big one to get people really excited.
yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, something from Bad Dragon, like a Bad Dragon dildo or flashlight, depending on their preference. Uh, okay, we can give them like a mug. Like they have really nice mugs on Bad Dragon. I don't know if you can buy anything from Bad Dragon Present Perfect. What would it be?
Probably a mug.
Probably a bug. They do have nice mugs. No, okay, getting into your reviews, they all kind of follow the same line. Like how long when you first kind of started writing those reviews, how long did it kind of take you to really start getting to the groove of writing them, and getting to the groove of writing in that format specifically?
Um, it let's see. I think it took like because if you go way back to when, if you look at my spreadsheet, if you go way back to when I actually have my first reviews recorded in 2012, none of those were the structured reviews. I didn't actually start those until May of 2013. So, it took me like a year to start thinking, okay, well, I want to do this in a little more of a structured format. And then the format itself just kind of happened. Like that was the way that it is today is basically the way that it was when I started. The only thing that's changed is after a year or two, I started including the like little one sentence summary before the review. Um, and before I was doing that, most reviews had a one sentence summary as just the first sentence of the review.
Hmm. Okay. What did you say your most in-depth review has been?
Most in depth. Honestly, probably the Project Horizons because I gave it a review for every book. And since each of those was
Mm.
a versus post, which is, just one story, as many characters as I can fit into the blog, um, that
Uh,
was that was a lot of
I
stuff.
I can hear background audio if whoever's whoever's external speakers is turned on. Oh, okay. Um, no, I had a follow up question to that. Oh, okay. Okay. So as somebody who is like I watch a lot of movies. And I've been trying to get into reading more. That's really what I want to be doing. I want to get into a habit where reading is basically all I'm doing now. But like, yeah, when I first kind of started to got into writing, I kind of paid attention to like a lot of YouTube critics, and I sort to try to train my mind to like think critically. But like, really, that's something that kind of comes naturally. Uh, the more movies you watch, the more books you read, you start to form specific opinions on your own taste. And as like I watch like now that I watch movie now when I watch a movie, like I don't pay attention to I don't actively seek out criticisms like the way I used to. I just try to experience the movie, and something like a weird happens, I'll just notice it and just move on. And if the if the plot gets bad, I'll just go that was bad. Never watching that again. And it took me a while to really get to the point to the point where I can actively identify what is wrong with something or what makes something great. How long did it take for you to get to that point?
Well, actually, before I started reviewing fanfics for sure, I mean, I've got, excuse me, I've got a couple of English degrees.
Hmm.
So, I immersed myself in like critiquing other people's writing and taking criticism of my own writing and thinking a lot about literature, especially in my 20s. Um, but it's also taken a really long time to really refine both like my critic's voice as well as my critic's mind. Because, like you said, when you're watching something and you're thinking critically about it, rarely are you also enjoying it at the same time.
Yeah,
And honestly, that's something I still do these days because I don't watch a lot of TV or movies anymore, but when I do still want to write reviews of them. Um, so I tend to watch things with a critical mindset more often than not, and it can absolutely get in the way. But also, the
definitely.
more you practice doing that, the more you can actually start to kind of sublimate the critical voice behind, or the critical mindset behind just your normal enjoying, watching, consuming content mindset. And that's really worth doing is you like sit down, enjoy something, and then when you're done, think back over it.
I think it's I think it's a trait because you know that critical mindset's like it's a learned trait. I think that when you're watching something or reading something, and you're trying to think critically. It's good for a short term. It's good for training your mind to recognize problems with something, especially if
Hmm.
you're looking to be a writer. But in the long term, like I don't really think it's a healthy way of thinking because like I because if you go in that mindset every time, like say you're with a group of friends and you go to watch like the latest Will Ferrell comedy and like everybody and seem to enjoy it, but you're that one asshole who didn't like it, you'll just come off as obnoxious. So it's
I'll
like
tell you,
I
um, I do that a lot anyways. I
you
think
do that a lot.
actually like I think where my like ability slash desire to critique and review things comes from, because honestly, as you were saying that, I was just thinking about this now. I recently discovered or recently understood that I have a mental disorder called dysthymia. Um,
Stymia, okay.
dysthymia. And what it does is it basically it prevents you from enjoying activities. Like people who
Is
say they
this
get enjoyment out of work, I've never done that.
is this a psychological disability?
Hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a form of depression. And
Oh.
but like my whole life has been spent like going to things, doing things, watching things, and at the end being disappointed because I didn't feel anything. And unfortunately, it was only until last year that I finally understood why. And so yeah, when I go out to a movie with friends and I'm the only one who didn't get it, it's that dysthymia crawling in. And the fact that I'm sitting there not enjoying something, yeah, I can look at it more critically. That's not necessarily a good thing, though. I'm very much do as I say, not as I do for all things, just as a blanket statement.
Oh, so when I opened this interview saying, "Why can't you enjoy fan fiction?" That was very much true.
Honestly, to an extent. Now, fan fiction I do actually get some enjoyment out of. I thankfully have mild dysthymia, which means I can enjoy some things, but only very specific things.
Okay. I'm kind of like that, and really, I think it's just for me, I don't think it's anything like dysthymia. I don't think it's inui. Um, I think it's really just a product of overconsumption of media, because you know I'm
Hmm.
kind of addicted to YouTube Shorts. I don't really do the TikTok. I'll put on like a YouTube videos a lot. I'll put on like when I'm at work, I'll put on something just to have on in the background. And it's not really healthy. It's not really good for ADHD and all that. And sometimes like
Mhm.
I'll watch a movie. I go, that was a good movie, and I'll feel nothing about it. It's kind of the same way with video games. I get more emotional value from video games, but occasionally I'll go, that was a really fun video game, and then I'll get to the credits and I'll be like, I feel nothing. But
Mhm.
thankfully with me is like I kind of accepted a long time ago. Like the important thing, like when it comes to anything fiction related, is you have to try to not chase the experience. The experience will come to you when appropriate. So like I will have those moments where like I'm watching the movie and like there's just like an emotional moment going on. And I'll just start crying. I still get that on occasion. Like I watched Grave of the Fireflies a couple weeks ago. That movie made me cry. It was good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
fuck. Yeah. The shit with the ghost in the movie had me very confused, but it made sense by the end. Uh, oh god.
Oh, fun.
That's a way to find out.
Yeah, that's a hell of a way to find out.
Oh my god. You're going to be a dad. Are you a dad? Oh, sad. Sad. Yeah. Here I am. I'm running on low steam today. I had very few hours of sleep. MT, do you have any follow-up questions to keep the momentum going? Hmm.
That's a really good question. Because I'm a very visual writer. When I'm writing, uh, I tend, excuse me, I tend to see the events of the story like as a movie or something along those lines. Um, Lord, let me just scroll through my 99 fanfics for a moment. I can answer.
I do that. I'm the same way. It's very good for atmosphere.
I tell you what, a lot of my stuff would not work as TV series just because it's so stupid. Nobody would want to watch it.
If you mean Fluttershy finds a nugget of truth, want to make a Netflix adaptation?
Maybe a YouTube short.
Maybe a spot on Disney Plus.
Well, if nothing else, there's always um Princess's Captain, which, still ongoing theoretically, but would also make for infinite clickbaity streaming whatever.
Hmm, nice.
Either that or the elements of awesomery also incomplete as like an overly saturated lots of fast cuts cartoon for kids with ADHD.
Okay. So, kind of getting a little off track, unless you have any follow up questions there, MT. No, sorry, go ahead. So, Yeah, which?
Eric.
Oh my god, yeah, that's perfect actually. God, I want you know what? Somebody write this. I was actually gonna say, you know, like I forgot to say it like at the beginning of the stream. I was talking about David Lynch. I was gonna say if somebody wrote like a David Lynch inspired story on film fiction, it would make me very happy. I'll read it instantly. But you know what? Instead, I'll say if you write a story about, where Jake Paul replaces T Rex, I'll be happy and I'll read it instantly. Please
And
do
let me know
this.
if you do.
Yes, please do this. Present Perfect will review it.
Yes.
Yes. Yes,
Oh,
will
I'm
you?
sure. I'm certainly not going to write it. Somebody else can do it.
I'll do it. I'll take it up.
It must be done.
Must be okay. So, present. Whenever you're not reading fan fiction, what do you do? What are your hobbies?
Um, I'm a video gamer. Like, who isn't these days?
Ooh.
I do also really like. I'm really into YouTube video essays. Um, so
Any
I'm a lot
favorites?
like you. You know, whenever I'm doing stuff that doesn't involve reading, um, or listening to music, I will have a YouTube video essay on. So, if like I'm cleaning, doing laundry, doing dishes, something like that. Um,
Any favorite
I watch a lot
video
of
essayist?
several. I really like the people like Jenny Nicholson from this fandom,
Yes.
who can wax lengthy about media, who can do
Yeah.
like a 2-3 hour video on a theme park and make it interesting.
You
Today,
know, I just want to mention real quick. She actually won an award for her BronyCon video.
did she? It
Yeah, it
was
was
really good.
yeah, it was a stream award. I haven't had a chance to watch it, but I've seen her other videos and they're all very good.
How freaking cool
what,
is that? I'm so proud of her.
yeah. What else were you gonna say?
Today I just finished up a 3 hour long video by Nightmind. If anyone's familiar with him, he does not reviews, but like summaries of YouTube horror series. And
Y-
he did a 3 hour video on the SpongeBob conspiracy theories, which was a great series that I actually watched as it was released. I usually
I,
don't
I,
ever
I,
get to do that, but those were great.
I can tell you and I are gonna be very good friends because I love video essays, and I can just after this I'm gonna ask for a bunch of recommendations and send you some of mine.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. No, I'm thinking of some of my favorites. Yes, I love Ginny Nicholson. H Bomber Guy is definitely a favorite. Unfortunately,
Mhm.
he only uploads like once a year if he's lucky. But thankfully,
Yeah.
thankfully he goes all out whenever he does upload. Um, I actually started watching his videos before he became big. I actually commented on his video.
Ooh.
Fallout 3 is garbage, and here's why. And the comment was, an hour and a half long. Wow, I could watch a movie instead of this. And he responded with, "Good idea. I recommend Andrei Tarkovsky's Stalker." And he just replied with that. It was very cool that he actually talked to me before he got big.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, and which made me very happy that his video on plagiarism was as discussed as it was. Even though it kind of ruined a few YouTubers for me.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
it was,
was that was honestly that video was kind of an amazing moment in time because like these days everything's so decentralized in terms of media. A YouTube channel can have several million viewers or subscribers and you will have never heard of it. And
yeah,
but that video on plagiarism, it felt like for one moment, the entire internet's attention was focused on one thing and everybody was talking about it.
Yeah.
And maybe it
Well,
was just
yeah,
because I had heard of it, which usually, I don't until several years later.
yeah. It's like he's so like very well researched with his facts. So it's like
Mhm.
Blair. I know her as Blair. Illuminati. That's what I was thinking of. I knew kind of some of the problems going on with Illuminati before the video, but like when the video was released, there was just such a deep dive, and then there was a secondary video on his other channel because it just kept on getting deeper and deeper. It was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Um, the real punch in the face though was Internet Historian because his videos are always a fun watch. It's kind of fortunate that Man in Cave was plagiarized. I hope he doesn't do that with his other videos. I kind of wished he
Yeah.
acknowledged it. Think of other essayists. Who is the who's the girl who is from the Nostalgia Critic channel? Because I actually enjoy her. It's kind of like the chubby one with the black hair, kind of looks like a wine mom.
I should know what the heck.
Yeah, Elaine something.
No.
No, she kind of quit YouTube for a while just because she got
Lindsay
tired of
Ellis.
like all the drama. It's like yeah, Lindsay Ellis.
Lindsay
Yeah.
Ellis.
I hope she's doing okay because like the internet hasn't been treating her well, and her videos are very good, like much better than
Mhm.
Nostalgic's critics even. Yeah, she released like a documentary on Yoko Ono, the wife of
Yes. I
the
actually watched
uh,
that. That was really good.
yeah, I need to finish it. I got like halfway through, but like fucking who was she married to? Who was Yoko Ono married to?
John Lennon.
John Lynn. Yes, she did that. It was an extraordinary deep dive, and I'm glad she made that.
Mhm.
Thinking of who else, I'm just gonna pull up my YouTube page, see who I have. She's married to Nick Hansen, Yoko Ono, or Lindsay Ellis. Ellis, she can't be mine. That's okay. I'm looking. It's been a while since I watched like a video essay. Now I mostly just watch comedy. I got Conan O'Brien in my recommend. Watch a lot of Conan O'Brien.
Mhm.
I listen to his podcasts. Do you listen to any podcasts? There's a question for you.
I don't listen to very many. There's a linguistics one that posts on YouTube called Lingthusiasm, which is just two ladies talking about linguistic stuff, which is up my alley. Um, the main podcast that I follow is called The Letters Page. It's for Sentinels of the Multiverse, which is a cooperative card game. So if you're into board games, big like lore dumps for everything related to that game. If you've never heard of it before, don't worry about it.
Okay. Sorry, I'm listening. I'm just scrolling through my favorites list. Oh, I don't really have a lot. I thought I would have more on here. Like I always look for something to put on. I remember listening to like a 7 hour review of Death Stranding, and that's like one of the few video essays where it makes sense the review would be 7 hours given how long the game is.
Hmm.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Quentin reviews. He does some good ones. He does like a lot of long form reviews because like he actually he'll often talk about TV shows and he'll talk about every single episode. And he makes it entertaining. He did this one on Fairly Odd Parents, and every time he called the fairies, he would call them Fairlies just to gaslight the audience that she thinking they're called Fairlies, which I liked. Yeah, then I guess YMS. You know, YMS is a very good one. Yourmoviesucks.org. That's my favorite.
Ah,
Yeah, that is actually like how I think YMS is the reason why I have like my current mindset whenever I watch movies. Because like he does a podcast with I Hate Everything, And every time they talk, they'll recommend movies, and every time they talk about a movie, I'll watch it, and then I'll listen to the podcast, and they say pretty much everything I think. I think he warps my mind into thinking the way it does. Hmm. Okay, so you mentioned you also like the video games. What are some video games you play? What are your favorites?
I'm really boring with video games these days. Just about everything that I play is a roguelike of some kind. Like I was really big into Balatro for a while. Um, I've been getting back into a game called Griftlands, which is honestly really good. It takes place in this like alien planet, and you're playing, a down on your luck mercenary, basically doing odd jobs for various political factions who are struggling over this piece of backwater crap area that you're
Hmm.
in. It's put together very well. Um, Other than that, yeah, I mostly play board games digitally, just because that way you don't have to set them up or take them apart.
Yeah. I've been thinking about getting into Monopoly. I kind of want. I was thinking about this the other. I want to buy a Monopoly a board just because I want to get the get out of jail free card, and I just want to tuck it in my wallet behind my driver ID, so that in the off chance that I get pulled over, I can just hand them my ID and the get out of jail free card. Just be one of those assholes.
Interested to know how
that
that turns out.
Oh yeah, it's all dainty. It's like covered in dirt. It's been bended, so there's like that white stripe going through it.
Hmm.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Oh, that we're gonna do the reverse card. Yeah, yeah. He has to show me his ID. Yeah. Hey, MT, you got any questions?
Oh, nice. That's a really interesting question. Um, Boy, I'm not gonna be able to come up with a whole lot of specifics on this, but I feel like if you want poorly designed characters, those you find more often in the comics. Um, Although I would also say that Princess Cadence is a contender for poorly designed. She got better.
Really, really?
Yeah,
Cause I always thought she was hot as fuck. What are you talking about?
irrelevant.
Okay, okay. Wait,
And no,
visual
she
designs,
was
character
she was
designs.
very like designed by committee type of thing, and like more or less the reason Lauren Faust left the show. But in terms of poorly written characters, everybody by the end of the show, like seriously,
I I would have to rewatch the show to really comment on that because I kind of stopped after season 7. I do. I only watched the episodes with the student sex because like there was a time where I was kind of obsessed with them. Now like I'm just thinking, yeah, I should just finish the show. Like really, if they fulfill my the duties of my heritage essentially, and just watch it. Oh
yeah, I could be disingenuous and say that the student six are poorly designed, but honestly, they're not. And I think that becomes clear
yeah,
as the last two seasons go on. Like, there is actually something to them. Um,
there.
but like the
I
main six by season nine are flanderized, the princesses especially, Celestia and Luna. Oh my God, they're written so badly by the end.
yeah.
Oh,
The
you can't
the
even
student
even think about it.
the student six works so well because At that point in the series, you have known the characters for so long. We were kind of in desperate need of new characters to follow, so that's what made them a fun addition. They're fun
The
to write.
reason
I
too
write. s- Sorry, go ahead.
the reason too why they ended up working in the long run is because well, it's the opposite reason of why everybody else was getting written worse and worse. Um, I don't remember where I learned this. Someone was doing I think it was Cartoon Ghost Mike or whatever his username is. He was doing like kind of a deep dive into the production of the episodes, and as the show went on, especially by season 5, writers were leaving, writers were leaving. They were bringing in a bunch of new writers, and every time they brought in somebody new to write an episode, they'd be like, "Okay, we want an episode about Fluttershy. Here's 3 Fluttershy episodes, just 3 random episodes that feature her from the previous seasons." And so it kind of dilutes the character. You've got these writers coming in who haven't seen the entire show, and they know 3 episodes about this one character, and so you get something out of that that is it's kind of twisted, it's kind of warped, and it's not the same character. Whereas the Student Six were created by brand new writers, they were brand new characters, and so everything could be put into them holistically all at once. There wasn't any
Yeah,
real worry of any particular writer like not knowing who they were because they everybody who was writing at that point had basically been around for just that season, if that
yeah.
makes any sense.
Honestly, like I blame Hasbro for how the show turned out because like
Oh yeah.
I know like M.A. Larson really tried to advocate for like the quality of the show. Like he definitely wanted to. He definitely wanted it take it to a more adult audience. Like the audience the show had grown over so many years, but Hasbro was really adamant about just leaving it for the little girls out there,
Mhm.
and because yeah,
Yeah.
well, it was a combination. It's like they were trying to balance it out. Like one episode, it'll be really cool and actiony, and then the next it would just be very cutesy and girly. And it was a jarring juxtaposition. And I would never say that the show's writing was ever perfect, because it had like the same flaws a lot of episodic shows had. Like a character
Yeah.
can learn a very special lesson in one episode, and they would forget that lesson the next episode, so it could fit his theme.
Yeah.
I want
Yeah,
to
that
say like
happened
the
a lot.
only yeah I want to say there was only one show that comes to mind that handled the episodic format well, and that was Steven Universe, because I binged that
Hmm.
I want to say about a year ago now. And like I really noticed that I noticed this thing that was consistent with each episode. It was episodic, but like when Steven learned a lesson, it was already learned. It's out of the way now, and you
Yeah.
actually get to see him adapt to new lessons consistently. So you actually got to see him mature, which was the whole point of the show, which was a very nice change of
Yeah.
pace.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
whole point of it really was character growth. And plus you've also got a showrunner who was willing to like take chances and actually write a show that isn't about coming back to the status quo at any point.
yeah, yeah. They're they were totally ready to just like let everything go batshit crazy.
Yeah, everything could just be upheaved in a single episode and never the same again, and that was one of the great things about that show.
Yeah, I was introducing a friend. To one of my favorite. Okay, if there's a particular YouTuber I just enjoy shitting on, just because they're a meme to me. They're a meme to me specifically because it doesn't make sense to me why they are so popular. Lily Orchard,
Oh,
that
yeah.
person. Yeah, it never made sense to me why they're so popular. Like my first introduction to them, uh, was when they made a top 10 worst My Little Pony song videos, and there's like a I kind of distinctively remember. I tried to find it on YouTube recently. It's not there anymore. but like he was attacking the songs for the lyrics specifically. It didn't matter if they correlated with the episode. It didn't matter if they correlated with the theme of the episode. He just attacked um, the lyrics, and not that the lyrics were bad, just that he didn't like the themes the lyrics were following, even though that's the point of them. It's
They're
just stuff
taking it
like that.
completely out of the context in which it was
Yeah,
written for.
which is
Yeah,
which is
okay.
something Lily Orchard is very good at doing. Like Lily Orchard has a way of reframing something just so it can fit their criticism. And I was and I was bringing a friend down this rabbit hole with me the other night, and I just show them the Steven Universe is garbage Steven Universe is garbage a video.
I think I
And
saw that. It was such a
yeah,
bad take.
it yes, famous for other reasons. I would say infamous, and I cannot get into those reasons because Twitch would ban us.
Mm.
um,
At this point,
go
she's
to
one of those YouTubers who exists just to give other YouTubers content to make.
Yeah. Yeah, I study her structure. Like, I recognize what she does. She talks like loud and fast, and she has like a very snippy editing style. And format, she is
Mhm.
very good. But it is that format that makes her so well, and I think that's why she's so popular. But like if you actually pay attention to what she said, okay, when I showed this friend, I showed I showed them the section on the LGBTQ plus representation, and so many takes Lily Orchard said in that section of the video were so bad. Like she purposely left out specific episodes that would actually ruin her like that ruined her takes just so she can
Jeez.
make them. Like she she um she was talking about like the rose quartz, and how it's like an abuse story, and how it's never directly addressed as abuse story. Uh, it is directly addressed, and it's especially directly
Yeah.
addressed in Steven Universe Future. uh, yeah, that you know what? If we're talking about video essayists, that's my favorite video essayist. Lily Orchard is my favorite video essayist.
It's because she's
Uh,
so wrong.
she's not just because she's so wrong. She's just an absolute meme. Did you see the list of 101 writing facts she posted?
I've seen a couple of videos talking about it.
Yeah, there we go. You know what? We might do that for the end of the stream. I don't know. What other YouTubers do you like? I can go on about Lily Orchard all day, but we do have to move along.
Well, I definitely don't want to not give a shout out to Overly Sarcastic Productions.
Oh, heard of
If you've
them?
never heard
Yeah.
of them, they do like kind of vaguely animated, just sort of like hand drawn, scene at a time, um, things about history, about literature, and especially my favorite series that they do is um, they're walking through the ancient epic of Journey to the West. Sun Wukong and all those characters. And there have been like 15, 16 videos on that now. I have no idea how much is left. But it's been
Oh, jeez.
fantastic because she narrates it like it's Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I actually have noticed a few of your comments on those fan fiction narration videos. Like I think you have a higher tolerance for bad audiobook readings than I do, because I remember one of them, like going back to Project Horizons. I don't know his name, but like there was like one for Project Horizons. I was like, the audio in this audiobook is so god awful, but it is the only one that has read all the chapters, so I have to listen to it. and I would see your comments,
Yeah.
and you'd be like, "Oh, I love this so much. Please keep doing it."
It's funny to hear that because, like, I was just complaining to somebody recently about a podcast, like, having really poor audio quality. I was shocked at how bad this was. Like, you can hear
Yeah.
the traffic outside as these interviews are happening. I'm like,
I
"How
think they
do
were talking
you"
about I think they were talking about SnarkCast.
my god. But, but yeah, I've always considered myself to actually have a fairly stringent need for good quality audio, although granted, I can take worse quality if it is loud. That will make
You
up
know
for
what?
it.
No, that's fair. I'm subscribed to Audible, and I listen to audiobooks all the time, so I'm kind of spoiled. So like when I listen to an audiobook, you need a proper narrator. That's the sound needs to be condensed so that I don't hear white noise. It's just
Mhm,
you just have to show me that you care about the formats, and the person reading it kind of does matter. Kind of doesn't, but fucking I got an audiobook on Audible recently. Is Don't know the title, but it was an essay on Norm Macdonald, R.I.P.
huh,
Yeah, I got it just because I wanted to listen to an essay about Norm Macdonald, and I was reading through the description, and it was narrated by AI.
oh, come on. Like,
So, way of the
I've
future.
started I've started trying to give people, like, second chances because like you say, it shows some respect for the medium if you're putting out decent quality, if you're trying to improve your quality of your audio. But also a lot of people just get started reading fanfics because they're just so excited to get into it. They're like, "Oh my god, I read this
Yeah.
story and it was so good and I want people to hear it." And it's like I actually really appreciate that. And so when I come across a channel that maybe doesn't sound all that great, try and give them a year or two and go back and see if they've improved any, because a lot of times they will.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, yeah, that's not saying they can't improve. I mean, the one I was talking
Hmm.
about was very consistent.
Yeah,
Um,
that's unfortunate.
yeah, I am glad they dedicated their time to reading all 81 chapters, though. Like, the other audiobooks, even, like, the really good ones, I think that most of them only got, like, 20, 30 chapters in.
Yeah, yeah, a lot of people only go in for a chunk and then give up. That is
Yeah,
quite an
I mean,
undertaking.
it is, like, well, whatever happened to the following question audio play? That was actually pretty fun.
That one I'm not familiar with.
Oh, yeah, there was the following question audio play. I think they only did, like, 3 episodes.
Hmm,
It was basically the story verbatim, but, like, it was just the dialogue and a bunch of sound effects, and, it's they didn't do the entire story. They didn't get that far into the story. Yeah. Uh, they did some cool things, though, like, they composed, like, original music for it, and it was actually really good music. It was actually music that sounded like it belonged in the games. So that's one thing I thought was really
oh,
cool. Yeah. Um, I knew there was supposed to be an animated series at one point that fell through.
that doesn't
Uh,
surprise me.
I would appreciate if they just like released the storyboards and stuff of what the series would have been. That would, you know what? I'm gonna find out who that is, and I'm gonna ask them to do it. That would just be really cool.
Go for it. Worst thing they can say is silence.
Yeah. What if we revive the following question animated series because of this podcast? What if this podcast leads to it being revived? What if this is history in the making, guys?
If so, I take no responsibility.
What if this is like our Samurai Jack being revived after 10 years moment? You haven't read Fall Equestria? Oh Jesus! Sorry, you're just making me think. I actually, you said parody. I actually remember reading a Fall Equestria parody I really liked that I know Present Perfect also really liked. Ah, fuck. What's the one? It became semi-popular, popular enough that the Fall
Fallout
Equestria
Equestria
fandom recently.
Lesbians.
No, is
That
that
was where
real?
my mind went immediately. No, actually, I think I remember what you're talking about. I don't remember what it's called.
Um, I shut the fuck up.
No.
I know. Okay, so I know that the characters were meant to be like the specifically the main character was meant to be the exact opposite of Little Pip. Like she would shoot at things with a Nerf
Oh,
gun, and that yeah,
yeah. Was that Duck and Cover? Or is
yeah,
that the
duck and
sequel?
cover. Uh, either I didn't finish the sequel. I read the first one. That was actually a very fun read.
Yeah, Duck and Cover. That was really good.
Yeah, I would have liked if they did more with the ending, but it's fine for what it was. Goodbye, Reggie. I see that Reggie called us gay wads. Ban him. Yeah, you have a good point. Unban him. No, but yeah, I read that one. I distinctly remember the Skyrim chapter. um, besides Fallout Question, what are some fanfics that really jump out to you?
Oh boy. Well, I've got my top 15 most liked fanfics on my profile, which those have not changed in several years now. Like I'm starting to feel like maybe I've actually found the best ones. But you got Administrative Angel, which is just phenomenal. I can't even explain why. That's definitely Horizon's best. 80 Days to the World's Farthest Shore, which I know somebody else just reviewed recently, and I was just so excited to see someone else having the same experience with that story that I did. That one being it was an AU, I think, where Twilight gets trapped in some kind of like fantasy human world, and she's trying to get back. It was just so original. Um, and then of course, In the Place Where the Wild Horses Sleep, which is still my vote for best MLP fanfic ever.
I'm sorry.
Granted, I haven't read the Enchanted Library yet, so one never
I'm
knows.
sorry. I'm scrolling through your favorites, and the first thing I see is the marvelous adventures of Princess Fartlock. Sad tales for naughty children.
Marvelous Adventures of Princess Farsock was pretty good. I
I
don't
don't.
think I've published that review yet. I think that's upcoming still.
Oh, no spoilers. God. The same scenario repeated 3 times. Oh, I like that cover. It's a pretty nice cover. No, man, that's my read later. Nice. I see
And in
some
terms of,
familiar stuff on there.
hmm
All right, pull it up. We're gonna do an audio reading. I'm seeing some good stuff on here. Human fan demands a question conform to head Conan. Those are my favorite fics, just the ones that just try to be completely stupid.
yes, the funniest
Oh,
story on FimFiction I maintain to this day is "Do It Mattered If I Is" by Kitsune Risu. I think it's Kitsune Risu, which was a parody of "Would It Matter If I Was?" that has the funniest cover art ever.
do it matter if I is? You say it's the funniest cover art. I've seen this cover art like this a million times before. I think you and I have different definitions. It's funny though. God, that looks very dumb. A writer you've never had probably don't care. In the wake of the Canterlot wedding, Fluttershy has asked Twilight a very difficult question, and then things get weird. Rated E for illegal. You know, I like that.
Yes.
I'm gonna give this a read. No, let's take a scroll through my favorites list. Okay, there are a few obvious ones. Some I just added because they're my friend. Oh, you know what? This might be a good chance to recommend some stories for you to review. I'll post them in a. Yeah, I'll post them in chat as I'm reading them along. The Haunting of Buckwheat Manor by Norris the Pony.
That one.
Norris is a good writer. Fucking, you gotta like dedicate. I know you like do your blog dedication, where you just dedicate to a specific author. You gotta do one where you just dedicate to Norris because Norris is a really good writer.
I'm actually in the middle of a Norris fic right now.
Which one?
Um, can't remember the title because it has nothing to do with the story at all. What is
Ah,
it
fuck.
called? Never Going
Is
Back Again.
Never Going Back Again? I don't think I've read that one, but you know, I trust that I trust that it's good just because Norris is that good.
It's been wild.
Oh, you're making me want to read it now. I need to finish Synthetic Bottle or something like that. That was really good, well written from what I've seen so far.
Yeah, I need to
I
get back
read
to that someday. It is such a good story.
Yeah, I read Dust Falls. That was a good one. Obviously I have Project Horizon Zero. Follow question in here. Deceits. Oh yeah, that was one of the stories I read for Wonder D's. Yeah, Wonder D's interview. Yeah, we talked about that one on the podcast. Reading Rainbow. I don't remember anything about that. Pink Eyes. Why is it only showing me? There should be so many more fics on here. What the fuck, fan fiction? Yeah,
Very long time. Less time if there's an audiobook, because that has happened.
it says there's. It says there's. Fucking fanfiction. What is fanfiction doing? It says there should be 47 stories in here. Why isn't it showing 47 stories? Okay, there we go. Okay, weaseling your way out of legalized murder. That's another Wonder D. Yes, there we go. What else? Best hell ever. I feel like that's an obvious one. Sunny skies all day long. The offspring by Flutter Priest. That was one of our entries into the contest. Well, it was a judge entry, so it didn't get judged. She slays. Bandy is a good writer. He's very underrated. She slays very good. It didn't get the attention it deserved, so please review that one. It does need more attention. It's just about Flurry Heart. She has to kill. She has to find like these demons across the world. And, like each demon has like a different element, and she has to like slay them and eat their hearts to get
That
like
is way up
powers.
my alley.
Yes, it is. It is awesome, and it actually has a message. It is really good. Biblical monsters. That's one of the classics. The Head. I feel
The
like that's
head.
one. That's Yeah. I feel like that's one you've reviewed before. Is it?
I did just a couple of months ago. Finally got to
Okay.
it.
The Hoofmaid's Tale. J. P. Jaxie. Jap Jaxie.
Yep, Jaxie.
Gap. Gap Jaxie. You know what? That's a fun one. Um. Let's see. What else is there? Anon wants to bone Celestia by birds. I ever consider just dedicating your reviews to birds?
I have not.
Bert is a master shit poster.
Oh, excellent.
um, Simeon. anything by Simeon, I would love to like, I'm sure I think you've reviewed Simeon in the past, but, like, I would definitely love to see more Simeon shadows out there.
Let's
Ebony
see.
learns the meaning of Spooksmith. I think I just favorited that one because it's a reference to My Immortal. Anything else that's what you know what? I found one. This will make me very happy and a friend of mine very angry. Crazy Steven Equestria. Okay, there is no argument with this one. You're going to review this one. You're going to give it a positive score just because it'll really piss off a friend of mine. You'll do
No
are
guarantee.
we no guarantee I'll pay you.
I'm writing these down. I will do a an edition at some point.
Yes.
Although at least one of the stories that you have mentioned in the last 10 minutes, I have already read,
Ooh, nice. Which one is
and it
that?
will be. I'm not going to tell you. You will find out whenever I actually finish that blog.
You know what? When you post that blog and I see what it is, I'm just gonna go into the comments and take credit for it. So, you know, thank you.
That's fine. That's perfectly okay.
Yes. I'll write in all caps. Muggany recommended this to Present Perfect, and he enjoyed it. There you go. I'm not seeing anything else.
That's fine.
There's Dust Falls by Norris. So I already talked about Norris. Lazy Dragon by George. Anything by George is good, obviously. Think that's about it. Spidersis. I know you made Spidersis like a big thing a while back.
A long time ago.
Um. Okay, but if I don't know how to pronounce his title, Wormleeson. Okay, if I were like discussing like favorite fics
Oh, yeah,
that
Wormless
are
Sun. That's a good one.
yeah, if I were discussing like favorite fics that's only like 3,000 words long, it would be that one. I think that's actually my favorite short fic. I think that's it.
Take that.
I think those are my recommendations for you.
Awesome. They have been noted.
And you know what? You know what? Just because I have to, I'll recommend my fic. Silver Stream wants the D.
Acceptable.
I was I thought about recommending a serious fic I wrote, but I was like, no, it has to be a meme fic.
Not finished yet, and I don't read unfinished fics unless they're really, really good.
Don't worry, it's canceled. It's canceled. I just haven't changed the status.
Oh, cancel it then.
Technically finished. It's an anthology, so there's no definitive end. Um, I
It's
actually
finished in the
pissed
sense
off.
of finito.
Yeah, that is a fig. I don't care if you like it or hate it because I wrote it just because I wanted to write something stupid and funny. I actually
That's
pissed
why
off
I write a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I actually pissed off Shakespeare Police with that fic. He uh he was part of a review group for a while, and I submitted it to the review group, and I guess he missed that. I missed the anthology tag is in there. It's literally tagged anthology. He missed that completely, and he was really distracted by how none of the chapters correlated with each other, and
Yeah,
it was so
that'll happen.
yeah. Yeah, and every chapter was so of like so much stupid nonsense that I couldn't help but find the review funny. His words exactly. It is the most frustrating thing I have ever read, yet it is somehow well written. I can't believe it, but I'm giving this a 7 out of 10.
That's the kind of quote you put in the description.
Yeah, I got to do that. I got to dig up the review and do that. Mm. Any Any fix you want to force upon present perfect empty? You know what? Who are you talking to? Look at who you're talking to. You're talking to us. You're talking to us. What? Uh,
Mm,
didn't you? Present perfect. Didn't you say you can read like a 20,000 word chapter in like 3 hours at one point or 1 hour at one point?
I can do about 15,000 in an hour, I think,
Yeah, that's pretty fast.
like for sure.
Yeah, I
I
say
can
you can
maybe
go
do
a little.
20,000 in an hour.
Yeah, I say you can go a little lengthy with him. Got anything? Hmm.
Oh, wow, that's long.
I see a human tack. Already not interested. I stand by my
Someone,
word.
anyone, please help me. My life is a living hell. I'm a Gary Stew. Okay, that's actually kind of funny.
Okay. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I read the part in the description where it says I'm a fucking black and red alicorn, but I didn't see the part where it said and red alicorn. So I just read I'm a fucking black. I was like, what the fuck?
Yes.
I'm sorry. 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 Go ahead. What were you saying about the story?
That's a good
Hmm.
direction to take that in.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Even in Equestria, it's very difficult being black. Shake my head. My head shaking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah, I think that's something worth checking out. Okay. I'm about running out of steam, so like I guess I'm just gonna do like the like the fit the a few the kind of the closer. You know what's Present Perfect. I haven't actually read. I don't think I've read any of your works. I've read your reviews. That's about it. That's the most experience I have with you. So
That's
I kind of
unsurprising.
yeah. I feel like that's how most of your audience is, to be honest. No offense. I feel like most people on fan fiction know you for that guy who hasn't read their fic yet.
Yeah, sadly, when you start reviewing fanfics, a lot more people are interested in reading that than what you've actually written yourself. And that's just the way it is, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the truth. Of like, yeah, like any fan fiction reviewer on fan fiction, Paul Arson. Like, I only know him for his reviews. I think I have read one of his stories. I just can't remember which.
He's a very
Ghost
good writer. He
Mike.
should be read.
Yeah, I know Titanium Dragon was reviewing at one point. Um, he is a good writer from what I've seen. I think it's been a while. But no, I wanted to test your creative intuition. I want to see where your mind is at when it comes to like brainstorming stories. So okay, so I want to run across you this premise I've been working on. I started a horror story. I'll post the. I wrote the first paragraph just because I wanted to create immediate sense of tone. Like before the interview, I was like, "Ooh, I got this like this nice idea for some imagery. I think they would be very neat to open the story that way." And I want you to just build ideas off me. See like let's see what you come up with. So there's the first paragraph. Okay, so the story I am working on, it is a horror story, and the way I'm designing the story is I'm designing it for conversation to be created. The point is that there is meant to be some kind of conversation to be created around the story. So there are a few things that are made entirely clear. A giant shape blots out the sky. It is forever the night. It has nothing to do with Nightmare Moon. Is they just know it's aliens, it's space aliens, and every once in a while, a glowing like the shape of, like not a butterfly, but kind of like something in the shape of a butterfly will appear. Not really. It's kind of like a vibrant pink glowing outline of a butterfly will appear above somebody's head, and that usually indicates their time is time. They are timed, and over time uh they start to become dolls, essentially something resembling dolls, and they can still move, but they still kind of have a conscience, but they cannot think. Their eyes are just black holes, and whenever they move, they make weird clicking sounds, and they only understand to do things that they're used to doing. Like if Applejack turned into one of them, she would just go out and start bucking apple trees and just do farm work. That is all she would do for like the remainder of time. And I know there's like this scene I want to write where um Twilight is cast into a black hole, and she just becomes a consciousness. She just becomes thought itself, and she's just like that for the remainder of time. She's like that until the death of the universe, and just forever alone with her thoughts. What ideas do you get from a premise like that?
It seems like a lot to put in one story. That being
Yeah.
said, um, like the countdown timer before someone, I mean, essentially dies if they can't think anymore. Like I've seen that kind of thing before, and I'm not saying that to suggest that it's unoriginal. I'm saying that because it's a cool idea and it's worth writing about again. Um,
Hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot of the thing that's gonna be tricky with that is that there is a lot of sort of experiential horror going into that you're going to have to be able to convey, like Twilight being alone at the end of the universe. Like, that's kinda hard to fit into a story sometimes,
Yeah,
um, at least to where like, the reader gets the actual effect of it, but, I don't know, I think it could work for sure.
I think. Yeah, I think of it more of like a thematic sense because well, I'm not running this off you for criticism. I'm running off you. I want to see what ideas you come up with. That's Chris. I will take criticism though. That is cool. But no, I'm Lovecraftian. I was going for a little bit Lichian, but I take Lovecraftian. It is kind of a cosmic horror. No, I was thinking of it thematically because I know I kind of want it to be a climate change allegory and how people respond to an existential crisis. But I also
Hmm,
wanna keep that. I also the it sounds like a lot to keep to put into one story. That's why I'm including
yes.
this intentional vagueness to what's going on, and that's where I wanna create the conversation piece. It's not, like, the aliens are directly addressed. It's never directly addressed what the butterfly means, though. It's never addressed why they basically turn into dogs. It's never addressed why their eyes turn into black holes. Just little things like that. But there does need to be this like strong sense of imagery and atmosphere, and there needs to be a consistency with like how it explores the characters. Okay, so what do you get from that?
You're looking for, like, an idea of where to go next or something like that?
Yeah, I'm testing like your creative intuition just to see how does your mind exercise creative thoughts. That's what I'm doing here.
I tell you what, I haven't actually done that in quite some time, so I'm a little bit
Ah, damn.
rusty. Um,
This might be good exercise for you then.
yeah, what I'm thinking is the like, black hole image comes up a couple of times, and that clearly has meaning, and that might just be what's worth focusing on.
Okay.
Um, I am also running out of steam, I will say, so, like, I'm kind of drawing a blank at
Yeah.
this point.
Well, you're actually giving me ideas. Like you gave me like okay, so like you're saying draw emphasis on the black hole imagery. I'm getting Juji Ito vibes now.
Yes, actually, that's a really good thing to draw off of.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
Throw some freaking
Okay.
spirals in, why not?
Yeah, there you go. I mean, that'd be hard to pull off in writing format, but I could try. Um. Okay. 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 So let's get off my fic then. Okay. We'll make this the last part of the podcast since you're also running on the Steam. We'll try to do this. Let's compose a story idea based on something you would naturally be interested in. Okay. So like what's the average story you typically read?
Favorite story I typically read?
Interested in reading. Yeah, by choice. You just
Or by
naturally interested in
choice?
reading it.
Mm, I mean, I am interested in a whole lot of things. I would say probably, we'll go general, like a comedy with some shipping in it, like shipping
Mm.
ponies together in a way that is kind of dumb.
Okay, so I got one. Rainbow Dash and Spike. There's a starter. Okay.
Neil
Um,
Mish Harshwini, that's funny.
Snows and Miss Hartsmany. Okay, yeah, well, no, no, let's not do Falcon. Age Shupping. Okay, no, that works. Okay, so Snails and Miss
They're the
Harshwinny.
same
Okay,
color, that's why it works.
okay, so we'll go with that. Okay, okay. Well, what ideas we have going off there? Okay, what's the premise for this fic?
She do again?
I'm trying to remember myself.
Well, you know, there's
Is
an
it
easy
the
way to there's an easy way to have them interact, which is that she's all about like judging athletic contests, and he technically at some point becomes a buckball player, even though it doesn't make any goddamn sense. Clearly, she would just be, thoroughly amazed by this buckball prodigy. Not sure that's
Okay.
better. No, that's kind of funny.
You know what? Okay, okay, you know what? Okay, you know what? You know, Snell's okay, so he's been single his entire life. He's always been, you know, kind of a recluse. Video game out, he's been hanging out with his best friend Button Mash, playing video games, playing Fortnite, yeah, Snips. And yeah, playing Fortnite with Snips. And you know, it's Snips. He gets Snips gets all the bitches. He has a well paying job. He gets laid constantly. He can afford all the Fortnite skins, shit like that. And you know, Snips. I mean, Snell is he's desperate to get a lady, and finally he meets one, Miss Harshwinny. You know, when he gets a job at the local nursing home, you know they hit it off right away. All right, I'm liking where this is going so far. Brings her all of the best pudding cups. This is going to lead to some weird fetish. I just know it.
Doesn't like
What
pudding.
is what is in what is in the pudding? What is in the pudding? I don't I don't
Proof.
want to say out loud. Her medication, the medication that makes her hot for him. Mm-hmm. That is a prescription Viagra, I want to assume. Okay, this is about to turn into some emo and edgy shit. This is where this is going to go. This is going to turn into some emo and edgy shit. Okay, okay. So what's the rising? What's the rising action here? What's the rising action?
That's
Yeah.
good.
Okay. Okay. Um. I'm thinking. No, I like that. I can't think of a good title. I like that title.
Now I'm envisioning it as like a slapstick comedy.
Okay. There needs to be an inciting incident. What is the inciting incident? Okay. So he gets caught looking at her granny panties. And that's where they really start to hit it off. Is like, oh, you like my granny panties? You want to see me without them? Okay, now there needs to be a rising action. What's the rising action? Okay, rising to the occasion. Okay, are we just writing clubs? Is that what we're doing? Okay, I thought we were doing an entire story, like a Bill and Ted style adventure story.
Where did that come from? That's wild.
Oh, I'm sorry if I'm sorry if I'm the most normal person here. Okay. What's the climax? And please don't just say, yeah.
Climax has to involve her falling downstairs.
Yes, yes. And here's a title. It's hip to be square. Oh, no, no, no. Like after like she breaks her hip, roll credits. The song just starts playing. It's hip to be square. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been SnarkCast with me, Magani, your tech guy, MC Plot Filler. Please die in a terrible car fire. I do not like what you just said. And present perfect.
That's me.
All right. Bye. Bye. Have a beautiful time. Bye.